Hello everyone, it's your brother here reaching you again with the word of God. As I've received it in this truth, I give it to you. Today we're going to continue the series I started regarding removing the deceptions from the church. According to Yahushua, he said, every tree my father has not planted will be uprooted. He said he has allowed the tares and the wheat to grow together. But the days are coming, and the days are now here, that he is sending his messengers to go and uproot the tares, bundle them, and burn them so you can harvest the wheat. Every truth that is concealed will be revealed. So today, I'm going to reveal one of the secrets that they have kept from us and given us a lie. And we all have believed this lie. But when you hear the truth, do not turn back to folly. Do not turn back to deceptions. The deceptions time is over. Enough of that. So today, the topic, we are going to talk about a question, trying to answer the question, who do you worship? Who do you worship? And is it important to know? Yes, it is important to know. Let's go to the Bible and find out how important it is to know who you worship. Luke chapter 4, verse 5 to 6. After Yehoshua has fasted for 40 days and the devil has gone to tempt him. Verse 5, Luke chapter 4, verse 5. Then the devil, taking him up on a high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said to him, all this authority I will give you and their glory, for this has been delivered to me, and I give it to whomever I wish. Therefore, if you will worship before me, all will be yours. And Yahushua answered and said to him, get behind me, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord Yahuwah your God, and him only shall you serve. You shall worship Yahuwah your God, and him only shall you serve. Let's turn to John chapter 4, verse 20 to 24. This is the encounter between Yahushua and the Samaritan woman at the well. The woman said, our fathers worship on this mountain, and you Jews say that Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship. Yahushua said to her, woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is seeking such worship for him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. No deceptions. Let's turn to John chapter 8, verse 31-32. Then Yahushua said to those Jews who believe him, if you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And the truth shall set you free. So my job is what he has given me, revealing the truth to you. What you do with that information is up to you. It's entirely up to you. But enough of the deception. When you have heard the truth, he said, do not turn back to folly. Christendom have a belief that Jesus Christ is a white man. And we have put his pictures and paintings in our churches, in our meeting places, in our homes, everywhere. But is he the one the Father, Yahuwah, sent to come and deliver you from the dominion of Satan. You see the one. So today we're going to get to the bottom of this. When I was growing up back in Africa, in Ghana, missionaries come to our village and they will give us tracts, gospel tracts and pamphlets. And always there will be two pictures in them. One is white, Jesus, and the other is black, devil, with horns on his head. And we have tended to believe it. Up to now, majority of our churches believe this deception, this lie. Even our pastors believe this lie. But it's not our fault. This is what they have learned in school. This is what they have covered up for us. But today, we're going to go into the root of it. Why is this? Let's turn to Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. So the great dragon was cast out, the serpent of old, called devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. The great dragon called the serpent and the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. So he has crafted this deception and given it to us. But mercy and truth have met, and truth shall spring forth from the earth according to the word. This deception was prophesied in a book called the Book of Wisdom. Now, the Book of Wisdom is one of the books, one of the 14 books that were removed from the original King James 1611 King James Version. That were removed from the Protestant Bibles like the NIV, the ESV, King James Version, the New King James Version, the Message Bible. All of them, the 14 books called the Apocrypha, was removed from them. But this same wisdom, this book called Wisdom, was written by King Solomon. It's the same King Solomon who wrote Proverbs. Same King Solomon who wrote Ecclesiastes. Same King Solomon who wrote the Songs of Solomon. And they are all in the Bible. But wisdom was taken out. Let's turn to 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 6 to 12. And Solomon went up there to the bronze altar before Yahuwah, which was at the tabernacle of meeting, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings. On that night, God appeared to Solomon and said to him, "Ask, what shall I give you?" And Solomon said to God, "You have shown great mercy to David my father, and have made me king in his place. Now, O Yahuwah, let your promise to David my father be established, for you have made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Now give me wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before these people. For who can judge this great people of yours?" Then God said to Solomon, "Because this was in your heart, and you have not asked riches, or wealth, or honor, or the life of your enemies, nor have you asked long life, but have asked wisdom and knowledge for yourself, that you may judge my people over whom I have made you king. Wisdom and knowledge are granted to you. And I will give you riches and wealth and honor, such as none of the kings have had who were before you, nor shall any after you have the like." So, God granted Solomon wisdom without measure. And out of all the books, the one that he wrote and named it wisdom, I tell you, a name always reveals the essence, the attributes, the purpose of a thing. There's something, when you hear name in the Bible, there's something inside the name you have to find out. So why is it that this wisdom book was part of the Apocrypha, the 14 books that were removed from the Bible? Why? I started asking questions. When I started knowing God, it's only about 8 years ago, but I started asking questions. And a question always seeks to know. A question seeks to understand. A question seeks for clarity. A question seeks for truth. And says, seek and you shall find. So I searched for the truth and I prayed to him, to the Almighty, to show me, give me truth and nothing but the truth. And he started revealing things to me. So, in my search, I came across one of these books called, in the Apocrypha, called Wisdom of Solomon. And I came across something that intrigued me. So now let's turn to the book of Solomon, chapter 14. And this is one of the books, the Apocrypha. They tell you, don't believe anything in those books. Don't read anything in those books. Why? The name Apocrypha means hidden. So what is hidden in these books that made them take it out from the Bible? They are still in the Orthodox Bibles. They are still in the Catholic Bible. I have here a Catholic Bible. And this thing has the Apocrypha in it. But it's the same Catholic Church that caused it to be removed from all the Protestant Bibles in 1928. So let's turn to Wisdom, chapter 14, verse 15 to 17, and I'll read 22 as well. A father afflicted by untimely mourning makes an image of his son, of his child, so swiftly taken. And now he honors as God what yesterday had only been a dead man, bequeathing mysteries and initiation to his dependents. Then, in the course of time, the godless custom hardens and is observed as a law. And by command of princes, the carved images received worship. Of those who live far away to be honored in person, men will make a portrait from a distance and produce a visible image of the king they honor, meaning by such zeal to flatter the absent as if he were with them. Even people who did not know him were stimulated into spreading his cult by the idealism of the artist. For the latter, doubtless wishing to please the ruler, exerted all his skills to make the likeness finer than reality, and the crowd, carried away by the beauty of the work, accorded divine honor to him whom only recently they had honored as a man. And this became a pitfall for life. And this became a pitfall for life. So what is hidden in here? This was during the time of the Renaissance. This book was prophesied that is going to happen somewhere along the line, in 1498, 1497, there was a Roman Pope, Alexander VI, who became Pope from the family called Borgia, Borgia. His son, Giovanni Borgia, was murdered, was assassinated. And with the grief, he called Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo to draw his picture. And according to history, Da Vinci won the contest. And this picture of his son became what we now know as Jesus in our churches and in our homes. Removing all the black portraits and pictures painting in the papacy, and replace all with white pictures, white Mary and all that. This was the deception planted, but it was prophesied in the book of wisdom, why they find out, and that is why they removed them. So I will encourage every one of you to get interest in those books, because it intrigues me to know that somebody like Enoch, he was so righteous, he loved God so much, and God loves him so much that he never tasted death, and he was taken to heaven. And yet, the book of Enoch is not part of the Bible. So, these books are there for every one of you to seek and read them. Because God does not do something and say, no, it's not good, and take some out. No, every time, whatever God does, he uses what you call the seeding principle. He gives you a seed, and inside the seed, he's put the tree, and the tree will produce fruit, and the fruit will produce juice. Everything is in the seed, so it expands. Everything God creates, that is his system. He does not create something and take something out of it. Who decided for these books to be taken out of the Bible? Man-made. So then, now, if you know that this Jesus that they have shown you, yes, Jesus is white because it is fake. He is fake. That name is fake. And they're giving you a fake picture, white Jesus. But the Yahushua that the Father sent to die for you, to shed the blood, to save you and redeem you and restore you, is not the picture that you have come to believe. So now, who is this Yahushua? Let's trace his line, his bloodline, and see whether he's white or black. Where can we start? The best place to start is from Yahushua's own words himself. And that we go to Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. My Bible says Jesus, but I tend to change it now that I know the truth. You can do the same. I, Yahushua, have sent my angel to testify to you these things in the churches. That's what I'm doing right now. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. I am the root and the offspring of David. So, if he is the root and offspring of David, then we need to find the genealogy. And let's go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of genealogy of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David and the son of Abraham. The son of David and the son of Abraham. So now let's go to when Yahuwah called Abraham. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 to 3. Now Yahuwah said to Abram, his name was not Abraham, his name was Abram. Yahuwah said to Abram, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I'll curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. In you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So he called Abram at the time. Let's turn to Genesis 14, chapter 11 to 13. This is when some kings have attacked Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom, that's where Lot was living, Abraham's nephew. Then they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their provisions and went their way. They also took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew. This is the first time the name Hebrew has been mentioned in the Bible. Simply means crossover. So God is setting apart certain people. They have crossed over to be different. Okay. Let's turn to Genesis 17, verse 5. Yahuwah is talking to Abram. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you father of many nations. So now he's building nations. He has started building the nations that he wants. So he's chosen Abram through this line. The nation that I'm calling as Hebrews will be set apart. So Abram gave birth to Isaac. Isaac has grown up and married Rebekah, and Rebekah was barren, couldn't have a child. But he prayed to God, and he answered her prayer. So let's start from verse 21 to 26. Now Isaac pleaded with Yahuwah for his wife, because she was barren, and Yahuwah granted his plea, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. But the children struggled together within her, and she said, if all is well, why am I like this? So she went to inquire of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. So when her days were fulfilled for her to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. The first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over. So they called his name Esau. Afterwards, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob, the supplanter. Isaac was 66 years old when he bore them. Up to that point, there had been no person of color apart from the normal color that they knew. So when these twins were born, one of them was red. But the other one, they didn't describe his color because he was normal. And the red one was Esau. That became the Edomites. That's the present day white people you see. And Jacob was of the normal color at the time. So who were the original people that God created from Adam? Certainly they were not white. Okay, so let's continue to Genesis 29, chapter 29. Now, through Jacob, is going to have the 12 tribes, the 12 sons. And through the 12 sons, we got the 12 tribes of Israel. But let's go to Genesis 29, verse 31 to 35. When Yahuwah saw Leah was involved, unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called the name Reuben. For she said, Yahuwah has surely looked on my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. Then she conceived again and bore a son, and said, because Yahuwah has heard that I am unloved, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. She conceived again and bore a son, and said, now this time my husband will become attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore his name was called Levi. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, now I have praised the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah. Then he stopped bearing. The reason why I'm taking the lineage of Judah is where it's pointing towards the birth of Yahushua. So, Abraham gave birth to Isaac. Isaac gave birth to 2 children, Esau and Jacob. According to the word, they will form 2 nations, 2 separate people. One is red, one is not red. The one that is not red, that is Jacob. Jacob now has the 4th child as Judah, and he continued to have 12 sons, who I said became, later we know, they became the nation, 12 tribes of Israel, who became the nation of Israel. Let's go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis 49, verse 10 and 11. Now Jacob is old. He is nearing the end of his days, and he decided to bless his children. Let's take Judah alone and see what Jacob said about Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Now, if you know what kingdomship is, you know the meaning of scepter. How important the scepter is in the kingdom to the king. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the people, binding his donkey to the vine, and his donkey's colt to the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his cloth in the blood of the grapes. Now, let's go to, this is the blessing that Jacob blessed the 4th child, Judah. Let's go to the New Testament and see the fulfillment of this blessing in Matthew 21, verse 1 to 3. Matthew chapter 21, verse 1 to 3. This is when Yahushua has come and is getting to the end of his days on earth. He is going to make the triumphant entry into Jerusalem. Now, when they drew near Jerusalem and came to Bethany at the Mount of Olives, then Yahushua sent 2 disciples, saying, "Go into the village opposite, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, you shall say, Yahushua has need of them, and immediately he will send them." The Lord has a need of them. That is the first one. Same blessing that Jacob blessed Judah. This is the same donkey, the same colt that Yahushua himself, after he has come on earth, is manifesting. The second one, Revelation chapter 19. Revelation 19, verse 11 to 13. Revelation chapter 19, verse 11 to 13. Now I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he who sat on it was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he judges and makes war. His eyes were like flame of fire, and his head were many crowns. On his head were many crowns. He had a name written that no one except himself could read. He was clothed with a robe dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. So, the blessing that was bestowed on Judah has traced all the way to Yahushua to fulfill it when he came on earth, even for the second coming. Matthew chapter 2, verse 13 to 15. When Yahushua was born, and the wise men visited him at Bethlehem, the angel of the Lord told them to go the other way, because if they go back the same way, Herod will inquire of them where he is to come and kill him. And in the night, the same night, now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, "Arise, take the young child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I bring you a word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him." And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt. And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, "Out of Egypt I call my son. Out of Egypt I call my son." Now, Egypt at the time was not white. Egypt was the land of Ham. And the word Egypt means that the name was not Egypt. But the word Egypt means the land of Nile, the land of River Nile. Now, River Nile, we all know, is not in Europe. The River Nile, we know, is in Africa. And we know Africans are not white. That's the reason why he sent his son to go to Egypt. So Herod cannot easily find him and go and destroy him. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. This describes Yahuwah himself, his father, Yahuwah himself, the Almighty, the Most High. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. The hair of his head was like pure wool. White people, hair does not look like wool. It doesn't curl. This is the description of the Father. Now let's go to the description of Yahushua himself. Revelation chapter 1. Verse 12 to 15. Revelation chapter 1, verse 12 to 15. Then I turned and see the voice that spoke with me. And having turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands, and in the midst of the lampstand, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet, and girded about the chest with a golden band. His hair was like white like wool, again, as white as snow, and his eyes like a flame of fire. His feet were like bent fine brass, as if it was bent or refined in a furnace. And his voice was like the sound as the sound of many waters. His feet was like a bent brass. Now when you bend brass, it does not look white. It does not look like the Jesus that is blonde with blue eyes that we see in our churches. His feet was like a bent brass. His hair is curled like wool. Now let's finish it with Revelation chapter 3. Chapter 2, verse 9. I know your works, tribulation and poverty, but you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, the Jews that are in Jerusalem right now, Israel right now, that we think people, again, the deception, believe they are Jews and they are not. And the word Jews is not even in the Hebrew language. A Jew supposed to be someone from the tribe of Judah, Yahudah. But they cannot say that because they are not. Not one of them can trace any bloodline to Hebrew, to any other tribes. So Yahushua is saying, indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Yahudah but are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. To know that I have loved you. Enough of the deceptions. The next week, what we are going is to bring about the real Jews, the real Hebrews, and see if those who call themselves Jews, the imposters, they are Jews or not. So thank you for today, and I hope you've been blessed with some truths. But we continue. As I receive it, I will continue to give you. And every deception, every one of them, you shall know the truth, and the truth will finally set us free. God bless you all.